Welcome back, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. I do 75 segments, radio and television a week on this program. 75. 2 are devoted to football during the fall. On the Friday Football Forecast, Doug Lesmerises, co-host of the Bill and Doug Show, available on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and the subscription service on Substack. He joins me on Friday to make some predictions and tell people to watch this or that. And on Monday, he's coming back to tell us who's miserable and who's feeling magical. It's the Monday mood check. But Doug, before we go there, welcome back. I loved Friday's show. I loved an email that you read from a father about why sports are wonderful. Do you happen to have that with you?
I do, Hugh, and I do think the best thing about sports is how it binds us together, right? So I do. I think people appreciate this kind of thing. I'll try to run through it pretty quick for you here, right? So this is a father writing about his son, and he's an Ohio State football fan. My love of Ohio State has been a surreal journey. I've been a fan since the late 80s, watching and bonding with my dad. I thought I would continue this with my son. Unfortunately, my son is severely autistic and partially nonverbal. Because of his disabilities, I felt like I couldn't bond with him. It felt like his mind was permanently locked from me, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't find a key to gain access. However, every year my son would watch me put on my lucky Buckeye shirt, sit on my oversized beanbag chair, and cheer for Ohio State every Saturday of the season. He watched this ritual that I do for 7 seasons, but last year something happened. I noticed that when I put on my trusted lucky Buckeye shirt and plopped down on my beanbag, my son, unprompted, would come and lay next to me. During the course of the first few games, he would watch my face as much as he would watch the game on TV. I guess he figured out that if the team I liked did something good, I would smile and cheer. If they lost or did something bad, I would frown and pout. My son was perceptive enough to start to be happy and sad based on the game, learning what was good and bad. Then something magical happened. We started to get happy and sad at the same time, about the same thing. Based on my reactions, he learned what's good and bad football-wise during a game. After the Michigan game, we were both sad. Maybe he was sad because I was sad, or maybe he was sad because he liked the Buckeyes. It didn't matter. We were sad together. Fast forward to the sack and TD return in the Texas game, and my son and I both cheered. He used to look at me to see if he was having the right emotion, but not this time. He never once looked at me. He was excited about the game and the play. I've only heard my son say 7 words in his life. That play, I heard word number 8. He yelled, "Buckeyes." It dawned on me right then that my son bonded with me. I couldn't unlock his mind, so he unlocked mine. He figured out that football and Ohio State was important to me and made it important to him. We now have football memories that will be with us forever. That's something I thought that was taken from me a long time ago. So I went from bonding with my dad to my son bonding with me. And that's sports.
Doug, when you read that, it was like hitting me with a brick. Did other people comment to you about that?
Yeah, I got some of that. People were said like they were tearing up in the shower and, listening or whatever that, because it's relatable, right? I mean, not every part of it is relatable, but the connection that this is, I've heard from so many people over the years who say, I can't talk to my dad. I can't talk to my mom or my sibling, but we can talk about sports. And so that's the thing that, again, when life is difficult, I sometimes think it's a great distraction. Sports can do that for us, but also it can be the thing that binds us together. And you hear a dad talking this way, and it's like, it is magical in a lot of ways.
It's also great broadcast. So I'm going to plug the Bill and Doug Show again because they do things like that and read letters like that. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty, Doug. The Monday mood check. Who's feeling miserable and who's feeling magical?
All right. In the NFL, the misery is the Baltimore Ravens because they've been excellent. They are 70-25 in the regular season in the last 8 years since Lamar Jackson became their starting quarterback. He's an amazing player. MVP, amazing player. But they're 3-6 in the playoffs in that time. And the Buffalo Bills have been their bugaboo a little bit. And they thought they had this game wrapped up on Sunday night. Everybody was watching. They were ahead by 2 scores. They were up 40-25. And then in the final 4 minutes, Buffalo scored 2 touchdowns and a field goal to win the game 41-40. So for the Ravens, it's bubbling up that misery of we're great, but are we great enough? And then the Buffalo fans, they're feeling magical. Some of them left. And Josh Allen, their amazing quarterback, was kind of like, don't leave. Don't leave anymore. You never know what we're going to do. So I think Bills fans are certainly riding high. Both teams should have great seasons, but that was a tough one for Baltimore.
The Ravens losing that way kind of took the sting off the Browns losing the way that they lost. I woke up this morning. I'd gone to bed, right? I went to bed. Yeah. And so that was a nice little bonus. So it's just one game. They get both the magic and the misery. No one get up north feeling miserable after the trip to Oklahoma.
So Michigan is not feeling great. They did go and lose to Oklahoma. I thought they might win that game, but they do have a freshman quarterback. It takes some time to learn. I will say I think there's two other teams who are feeling a little more magical, a little more miserable. First, Oregon beat Oklahoma State 69-3. They scored touchdowns on 7 of their first 8 possessions. As I think a lot of your viewers know, Hugh, you can pay players in college football now, and the Oklahoma State coach had kind of complained before the game that Oregon is really good at paying players because they have a lot of that Nike backing out in Oregon.
We got Uncle
and
Phil.
The Oregon Uncle Phil makes it happen, Phil Knight. And so Dan Lanning, the Oregon coach, didn't like that. And that's how you get 69-3. So Oregon and a lot of these big time schools, they're going to pay guys. Just don't complain about it before the game. And maybe they'll take it easy on you. So that's magical for Oregon. The misery, Florida, once a proud program, right? Urban Meyer won 2 national titles at Florida. They got upset by South Florida at home. Florida, the top 15 team. Their head coach, Billy Napier, is now 20-20 overall. And let me give you a mini story about South Florida because they're feeling great. Their head coach is a guy named Alex Golish. He was born in Moscow. His family moved to America when he was 7. He moved to Central Ohio when he was 12. He went to Ohio State. He became a student assistant at Ohio State. He worked his way up. He's now the head coach at South Florida, and he upset the Gators. They're about 2 hours apart down there in Florida, Tampa to Gainesville. Huge win for South Florida. Congratulations to Alex Golish.
Hey, Doug, can you stick around for 3 more minutes? Because I want to ask you about some mechanics on the Bill and Doug show, because I can't figure out how to listen to the paywall stuff. Stand by. I'm gonna get tutored by Doug of the Bill and Doug Show. You can go to the Bill and Doug Show OSU.substack.com or just Google. Stay tuned. Welcome back, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. Doug likes to joke on his show with Bill Landis that he's the old guy. Well, I make you look like a teenager, Doug. So I want you to know I have figured out Substack and I have figured out iTunes and Spotify. I get the Bill and Doug Show, and I'm enrolled on Substack. But Bill gave a big, long disquisition on how hard it is to get the pay-for YouTube thing. Is it that hard, or will it just pop up in my feed now?
So you might have to click like one thing, but once you do it one time, then it'll pop up in the paid Spotify feed, Apple Podcast feed. So we can talk you through the one thing. You got to go on the desktop, but it is pretty seamless. And then also on Substack, you can watch and listen on Substack too. When we go to the premium, it's a whole new world, Hugh. Right? We're all doing our own thing. We're out there in the wilderness. We're trying to learn on the fly. Lots of opportunity, but yeah, some logistics in there.
I am finding it fascinating that people can go and display their chops anywhere. And I was surprised that there are a lot of Ohio State and football podcasts. They were giving you love, Doug. Did you expect that? Scarlet and Gray and 11 Warriors, they were giving you love.
Yeah, it's very humbling. There is a large passionate fan base out here, and I say, I'm not for everybody. I'm an acquired taste. A lot of us out here are, Hugh. But there's so many different people covering Ohio State, and there's so many different people covering sports and just anything. You can find the person that you click with, and it's just much more of a personal connection. I can remember when I started in journalism, Hugh, you'd get a letter to the office like once a month. Somebody would mail you a letter, and now you're directly interacting with the audience every single minute of every single day. I think it makes us better at our job, but it also reminds you that there's actually other people on the other side of the camera here. We're not just shouting into the void.
And there's expertise to be found. Last question. Bill Landis, he knows stuff. Where did he learn that stuff? Did he play?
He's big, so you think that he played. He just studied. He just studied, which is why I'm hooked up with that guy. I shout, and then he brings the information, and we balance each other out. But then that way I don't have to know the X's and O's like he does.
Well, 5 people, you two plus the 3 guys at Buckeye Talk, all predicted 63-0, but that was on offensive scores, and there was a defensive touchdown. I don't think we'll ever see 5-0 again. Do you?
No. I mean, it was a strange game for Ohio State to be playing Grambling State, which is a great historic program, but they were just kind of overmatched there. So I mean, lots of interesting stuff ahead now for Ohio State. Now you're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the season.
And you should all head over to The Bill and Doug Show. It's on Substack, The Bill and Doug Show, osu.substack.com, or go to iTunes, Spotify, just Google up The Bill and Doug Show, Ohio State football, but it's actually about all of football, and you'll hear from Doug on Friday about what to look forward to. Thank you, Doug Lesmerises. Follow Doug on X as well, at Doug Lesmerises. Follow Bill Landis at Bill Landis 25, I think. Not really sure I got that right, but you can find him. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Harley. Thank you, Generalissimo and Doug. I'll be back on Thursday.